and welcome back to Little Red Roaming. I'm your host, Little Red, and yesterday was Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's to all of you. I hope you had a fun day. I know I did, which is why today I'm a little bit hungover. Yeah. As such, though, I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about bar crawls for today's video. And I don't mean bar crawls down at like your local places with your friends. What I mean is bar crawls when you're traveling. Because those are really different from, you know, doing bar crawls at home, and there's different things you have to take into consideration. So yeah, why don't we jump into that, and at the end I think I'll tell you about my favorite bar crawl that I've been on. So if you're curious, we'll have a little bit of story time. Okay, so here's where I have a little bit of a disclaimer on this video. I'm not condoning drinking to excess. I'm not condoning going out and drinking and driving or doing anything unsafe. What I think is important to note is that when you're 20-something and you're traveling and you're staying maybe at hostels in Europe, you're probably going to end up coming across a lot of bar crawls. You know, some hostels even organize their own, and you're probably going to drink, you know, here or there. You might not drink much, and you know, maybe you're the type of person who doesn't drink at all, and then this video is totally null and void for you, and you're just watching it to live vicariously through me. But I think it would be stupid to think that you're not gonna come across it. So, with that in mind, I'm not condoning excess drinking, but there are some bits of advice that I can give you that can kind of make your nights a little more enjoyable, and maybe prevent you from, you know, getting hurt or having a bad time. So tip number one is tell someone where you're going. It could be somebody at home that you've been in contact with, or maybe somebody that you met at the hostel who's not going out that night. Let someone know where you're going to be, you know, what company you're doing the bar crawl with, just in case, God forbid, you get lost or completely go missing, like the worst case scenario. Make sure you have that base covered. Now, it could actually save you just to have somebody know where you are. My second tip for you is don't get drunk by yourself in a foreign country. It's just dangerous, you know, anything could happen at that point and you're not fully aware of your faculties. Going on a bar crawl, the best thing to do is go with somebody. Whether it's a person that you're traveling with, or, you know, you connect with somebody at your hostel and you both go and you say, hey, at the end of the night, we're gonna make sure that we both get back here. You know who you're leaving with at the end of the night, you keep an eye on each other, you kind of have each other's back. And, you know, this could be from just getting home at the end of the night, or if you know, most bar crawls end somewhere where there's dancing. And at that point, the bar crawl group tends to split up at that point, and you can stay out and keep drinking after that, you can dance, you can go home. You know, the bar crawl's done. So having somebody that is gonna be there with you, if you guys decide you wanna stay there and dance, and if somebody gives you a hard time, it's really, like, it's a good thing to have a friend with you. So don't drink alone. If you're going on a bar crawl, make sure you bring somebody with you that's gonna stay with you the whole time. My third tip is eat dinner. Seriously, eat dinner like an hour before you go on this bar crawl. Eat something heavy and filling, and drink water with your dinner. Bowl of pasta, perfect. This will really just help you throughout the night so that your body's not absorbing alcohol on an empty stomach, because as everybody who has ever drank knows, drinking on an empty stomach is just asking for trouble. Like, it's just not a good idea. Don't do it. Don't be that guy. Eat dinner. you'll feel better throughout the night, and it can actually, from my experience, I don't know if there's science to back it up, but from my experience, it can help lessen the hangover that you're gonna probably have tomorrow. It won't be as bad if you've had something else in your stomach. It feels to me like it makes it easier for your body to digest and manage whatever alcohol you do imbibe. My fourth tip is charge your phone. Make sure before you leave your hostel or your couch surf or your Airbnb, wherever you're staying, that your phone is charged to 100%. If it's at 97%, leave it on that charger for another couple of minutes. Just get it to 100% and then go. Because at the end of the night, you're gonna want your GPS. And you're gonna need to look up, maybe the bus schedule, or maybe which subway route you need to take if you're in a part of the city that you're not familiar with and you've been drinking. Especially, too, if you're in a country that you don't speak the language, Google Translate is totally your best friend. And when, you're sober, it's easy to use it and it's easy to try and, carry on conversations with people. But when you're drunk, it might be the only way you can communicate to ask for help if you're lost. So make sure your phone is charged for safety, first of all. Second of all, make sure your phone is charged so you can use it to take pictures. It's just fun, you'll meet people who you're probably never going to see them again. And you take pictures with them, and I look back at my photos and there's so many people in there that I look at and I say, I have no idea who that is, but they look like we were having a great time together. And that's just fun. It's just a fun thing to have and to kind of say, yeah, I did that. I had this crazy night with a bunch of people from all over the world. And I get to look back at those pictures on my phone. If you have a portable battery pack, bring that. Make sure that's fully charged too, just to be on the safe side. So if I noticed that my phone was down to 40% and we weren't going home at that point, I would turn my phone off to save that battery so that it didn't interfere with finding our way home at the end of the night. Because getting back to where you're sleeping is the most important thing. My number 5 tip for you is wear comfortable shoes. You're gonna be walking around, you're gonna walk from one bar to the next, and then you're gonna be dancing at the end of the night. You don't wanna wear shoes that are gonna be aching and killing you. If you're a backpacker, you probably only brought comfortable shoes that you're okay with walking around in anyway. They don't have to be a designer heel or something like that. You don't need that for a bar crawl. Because at the end of the night, if you have to walk 1.5 miles to 2 miles back to your hostel, you don't want to do that with blisters on your feet. Anytime you're out after dark and you've been drinking, I think it's good to wear shoes that you can move in if you do need to get out of a situation quickly. So that's good advice no matter where you are. Don't wear shoes that you can't run in, because you never really know. People are crazy, bad things happen, so you should always be able to get away from that situation if you can. Tip number 6, know your limit. If you know that 6 shots of tequila, you'll be on the floor, stop taking shots of tequila at 4 shots. Because you actually would want to remember the experience of being on a bar crawl in another country. You don't want to black out. You don't want to be puking outside of a bar in a random city, and this is just gross. It's gross. It's not fun. Know what your body can handle. Know what you can handle, and don't push it past that. I cannot stand people feel like they need to keep up with other people when it comes to drinking, because no, their body is not your body. It's not his body. It's not her body. Only drink as much as you want to and need to, and don't push it. If somebody says, come on, we're doing more shots, come on, have another shot. And that last shot is it's gonna be too much, say no. Common sense, guys. Actually enjoy the night. and remember it the next day. And for months and years after, don't black out. Okay, so that's it for my tips on bar crawls that will hopefully help you stay safe and be able to enjoy your night if you do go on one. Now we'll do a little bit of story time. I'll tell you about my favorite bar crawl, and it was in Rome. I was there with a friend of mine, my friend Avery, who joined me for 2 weeks of my backpacking trip. We decided to do this bar crawl. It was our first night in Rome, and it actually met right outside the Coliseum. So our first sight of the Coliseum, we walk up the subway stairs to meet for a bar crawl, and there's just, bam, the Coliseum right there. It was later on in the day. It was dark out. So it's all lit up, and it was just gorgeous. It was a really cool way to start our trip to Rome. The thing about this bar crawl in particular that I really loved is that it was a little bit different than a normal bar crawl. They actually gave you dinner. So they had pizza for everybody, and at the end of the night, they give us all t-shirts. I've never done a bar crawl before that actually gives you a t-shirt to commemorate it. So that's really cool. And I have the shirt right here, so I'll show it to you. I wear this to bed all the time because it's cute and it's surprisingly really comfortable. So there it is. It's got the little picture of the Coliseum on the front. And if you're curious, they call it the Coliseum Party, which it says on the shirt. And you can check them out at www.coliseumteam.com. The other thing that was cool about this bar crawl, and which made it even more of like a good value for a bar crawl, the first bar was an open bar. So you can have as many drinks as you wanted there. If you're on a budget, this is a great bar crawl to do because you don't have to worry about figuring out dinner that night. You're getting a free t-shirt, bam, that's my souvenir from Rome. And the first bar is the only one you really have to drink at. You don't have to have anything after that. You can drink as much as you need real quick and be good for the rest of the night. You can do this bar crawl pretty cheaply, which is awesome. We had a ton of fun. Our guide was great. He was really intelligent, really conversational. And every bar you go to, they give you like a shot. That's part of the deal. And some of them have other drink deals so you could get cheaper drinks. That bar crawl I really liked just because it had a lot of good value to it. And we ended up getting to know a couple of the guys who were actually staying in our room in the hostel on the bar crawl. Because again, we had like just gotten there. We hadn't been in Rome for more than a couple of hours before we went on this, so hadn't really met anybody yet. And this was a cool way to get to know them, and I have some fun pictures. I still keep in touch with them. We hung out a few more times while we were in the city for that couple of days too. So that was a really great experience, and I would definitely do it again. The next day, we decided to go to the Vatican. And we actually, we were hungover, so it took us a while to get out of bed that day. But we ran into one of the guys who helped run the bar crawl, and he ended up being able to get us a discount on a tour of the Vatican, the museum and everything. So we went to go see the Sistine Chapel, of course. And it was just, he recognized us from the night before, and we just ran into him on the street in Rome, which is a huge city, so the chances of that happening were like, what? It was weird. The people who ran the bar crawl and who ran the Vatican tour, they were great. They were really professional, a lot of fun. They knew what they were doing. They had it really well organized. So if you're in Rome and you're looking for a bar crawl, they meet outside the Coliseum, and I can definitely vouch for saying that is a good one to do while you're traveling. Alright, so that concludes my bar crawl video. If you have any tips of your own, or any really awesome, funny, good bar crawl stories, please put them in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next week. Ciao!